Love that. Love it. Oh, ow, ow.
Welcome back to the break room. In the 1:30 hour, you can feel our power. We're gonna take you there, just like a prayer. Marvel surprised us with a new trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine. And what a surprise it was.
Okay, it wasn't really a surprise. Both of them tweeted about it yesterday. Both of them saying they couldn't keep a secret. Both of them, there's no surprise.
That's the kind of surprise we like around here.
Yeah.
24 hours notice.
Especially when you live in the Pacific time zone, it lets you get up a little earlier and be ready for that early drop.
Surprise.
We were in the brace position.
Yes.
Yes.
Anticipating this.
The brace position. So that means one thing here at the break room, we do a little trailer trawl. Look at that graphic.
Ooh.
We are going to play the trailer, react to it, get into different elements of it, zoom in on some different frames we like, sequences, answer viewer questions, hear viewer theories, all that kind of stuff. I'm Zach Huddleston. Joining me today, we've got Barrick here.
Hello.
We've got Maude Garrett here.
She was so ready to win.
I know.
I'm not looking at the
I looked at the order on the prompter. I kind of pointed at her, but then your name was first in the prompter.
And then you were front and center, and I was like...
Okay, so let's get into it. This was a really good trailer. A ton of new stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Very different tone than the first trailer. So let's just get into it and watch it.
Yeah. I love your face. One F-bomb.
Is that, do you think it's like mutant racism?
Yeah.
That's what, yeah, I don't know if it's...
Like back in the first...
He's about to say something funny. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick, so upsy daisy. Oh, whiskey dig up the claws. Quite common in Wolverines over 40. You don't want this. Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you
Oh,
reconsider.
second F-bomb.
I like when he leans in.
He smiles and leans in.
Kind of looks like Russell Crowe. Maybe it's just because he's in a bar.
Just because he's Australian.
Everything that I've ever cared about. Not my fucking problem.
3 F-bombs.
Come again. This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Love that. Love it. Ow, ow.
Want to talk about what's
Ow, ow,
happening, or should we wait for a third act flashback? Go fuck yourself.
4th F-bomb. This July. We're gonna get dinged.
Yeah, I know. I'm like so
This
ready.
audio will probably be dropped during the upload.
Is this a famous song? That was the problem. Too much focus on Wolverine.
Right now.
Like slow-mo.
Ooh. Elias?
Oh, that's a skull in there. Love that moment.
Her face there is so good.
5th one.
Let's fucking go.
6th F-bomb.
And that's probably the eye hole of the Ant-Man skull?
Yeah.
6 F-bombs.
Do some cocaine.
Drug references.
He said it's off limits.
What about Bolivian marching band?
They know all the slang terms. They have a list.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupted?
Even force bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes. I can't.
LFG.
All right.
Incredible.
6
Incredible.
F-bombs in a trailer.
And almost all of them said by Hugh Jackman, right?
Nope.
Go back.
4
Go
and
back. I'm playing.
4 and 2.
A lot of them. The plurality of them said by Hugh Jackman.
Well, because I get to, the only thing I get to contribute to these conversations is this little tiny piece of information. But when I interviewed Hugh Jackman for Logan, a big conversation that I wanted to have with him was the fact that Logan was R-rated and was, Logan was foul-mouthed and dropping F-bombs. And I was like, how was that for your character to be cathartic? And he goes, honestly, every other X-Men beforehand, I would always swear and they'd have to cut it out.
Yeah. I know a lot of the...
It's just so intrinsic to fuck.
Well, I think a lot of them too, they intended, a lot of Wolverine's fight scenes are a lot more violent in the earlier films and they cut out a lot of it. I remember it was like a big deal in X2 when they like stormed the house and he like stabs a dude into a refrigerator, but there's no blood.
Right.
Like they would always show his actions without blood. He would slice guns or it wasn't until Logan that it really got violent, the cut we saw, but I think they used to film it a lot more violent, and then they would always like tone it down a little bit. They would
Not,
get scared.
not
They would get
anymore.
Speaking of Logan, God, he looks great in this.
He does look
I think part of that is like the mental gymnastics of they kind of aged him up in Logan.
Yeah.
Because they wanted him, even though he doesn't really age normally. He looked haggard and whatever, and here he's kind of less haggard. There's a lot of speculation. We'll probably get to this of like, is this Logan timeline Wolverine before the events of Logan?
No.
We don't think so.
No,
Yes.
it's different Logan. Different multiverse.
Like a totally different one, right?
Yeah. I reckon that this is a Logan where this is what's interesting because you have to kind of figure out how Cassandra Nova comes into play. So it's like, I think we're dealing with multiverses because we've got the TVA there, and it's just like who belongs in which timeline. And I think that without a doubt, we can say that this Logan is not within a multiverse that we've seen yet. Now, is it the same multiverse that we've seen in the Marvel's post-credit scene? Like, is that the world that they were trying to build in together? We don't know. But this Wolverine let down all the X-Men. What?
Well, and that'd be
did he
interesting. If it's the
do?
same world as the Marvel's post-credit, that means like Kelsey Grammer Beast is dead
Yeah.
in this, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, or this could be a world, because Fox kind of reset the timeline, right, in Days of Future Past when they went back, and then Logan and Logan and Charles got to go back, and Cyclops was alive and everyone was alive, and they lived on happily ever after there. This could be like the Wolverine that didn't get lives on in the bad timeline.
We fucked up.
I mean,
Yes.
most mutant stories, right? We've talked about this before on the channel. Like a lot of the mutant stories, this is their nexus point, right? They get wiped out at some point.
Yes.
That always happens. They never get to live happily ever after. Mainly because to keep writing comic books, you need stuff to happen. You need big events to happen, and it's a good big event. Kill off a bunch of mutants.
Well, Ant-Man didn't make it in one of the worlds.
Sure.
Well, we're going to come back to that because there's a lot of call-outs to some specific comic book storylines that we might mention. But first, we want to talk about there are a couple Wolverine looks in this.
Bring Daddy up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Of course, that first one. And of course, seeing him surly in a bar recalls to my mind the very first time we saw Wolverine in any film, X-Men 1, right? When he's doing his little prize fighting stuff in that Canadian wilderness bar. Then
great,
white tea.
Now, where are they? Because I feel like what that setting was in Logan. At some point.
That's with the weird kind of obelisk stone in the field. And some people have been speculating maybe it's like a weird X-Men graveyard, and those are kind of like
I don't know.
headstones, or people are saying I saw another thing saying they might be like a Sentinel related thing, or
Well, there were those ships in Days of Future Past that the Sentinels were on that looked like that, but they were much smaller. These stone things don't look that big. They do look like old stone monuments.
what
There's a lot of
if? Sorry,
weird
can we go
field.
back to the white? What if, based off of something Brandon said earlier, whatever, instead of Easter Island, this is Passover Island. Different statues.
He gets these flowers for that. He's standing on my giant dead skeleton shoulders.
That's right.
And he gets his flowers.
Okay, sorry. Bad joke. Okay, and then this, of course, the full-sleeved blue and yellow costume. No cowl yet. We think we're getting a cowl in this movie, but they haven't shown us
that in
yet.
the trailer. No way.
And then finally, well, of course, do we see that in this trailer?
No.
This is from the other
original.
trailer.
Just
So
from the
I guess
back.
that's like what I'm curious. When I was watching this, I was like, the trailer makes it very much seem like this is the same Logan that we're seeing in all of these iterations, with maybe the exception of the one from the previous trailer where he's in like the patch outfit. Do you guys think it's the same Logan? There's a lot of rumors that we'll be seeing a lot of different versions of
So
Logan.
that you're saying that there's potential the yellow and blue Logan not the same as the bar Logan.
Not the same as the bar, not the same as the white shirt. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff happening in the trailer that really indicates that this is the same guy, right? So I'm not trying to, real say it's different, but what do you guys think? Like, do you think there's a possibility that we're seeing multiple Logans in this trailer?
In the trailer, no. I don't think so. I think they're trying to piece together this one Logan's arc, but I think there will be both Deadpools and other Wolverines in the movie. But I think this one, they're kind of like, they're showing that we're going to follow this one as it goes through this kind of narrative arc.
It feels like they've selected this Wolverine in particular because on his particular timeline, there are no X-Men left. He's got nothing to live for. And so he's probably the best Wolverine to be able to go on this inter-multiverse mission to clean things up.
Which is
He's got the
interesting,
least
because if again, and it's a trailer and they're cutting lines together and stuff, but if Deadpool's whole thing is like, I need you because you know how to fix, or you know how to save worlds, right? But if he's failed so bad, why would he want this one? Unless this Wolverine made some sort of strange sacrifice that the TVA doesn't know about, right?
Well,
because it seems like the TVA is like, you don't want this guy. This guy's a mess. Let
Right.
everyone down. But R. Wade wants this Logan for some reason.
Well, and if you look at some of these clips, if you go especially back to the last one, when he's in the blue and yellow suit, it's a desolate place. Like,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of destruction. When you look in the trailer, there's many kind of instances with dilapidated buildings or ships, and it feels like this planet has gone to shit. And I think that when he tries to recruit him, I don't know when or how he gets into the blue and yellow suit. Not entirely sure with that one. But it's like, I feel like Wolverine and Deadpool have that big fight with each other until they
Yeah.
realize that neither can die,
Right.
get
Yeah.
exhausted, and then pursue the mission.
Yeah. And it seems like there's even a couple chapters to that fight. There's the whole minivan Honda Odyssey portion. Then there's the like laying on each other's backs and stabby shooty.
So far.
And then even do we have an image of the sleeveless
Yes,
yellow and black? Getting those bicep veins
You saw
out for
that
the
too.
camera, man.
We'll add it in post. We'll add
Hugh's
it in
like,
post.
I didn't get this ripped to not show off these guns, baby.
Did he get the Jane Foster treatment of like the CGI arms? Do you think they CGI'd his arms at all?
No.
I mean, the man can do it. I'm not questioning it. The man can do it. He's possible. Could those be CGI veins? Or did
No.
he go that vascular?
I bet he did.
I bet he did.
Yeah, there's muscle memory, man. Even if he's not always that ripped, his body knows how to get back there. You know what I'm talking about, Evan?
Speaking of
I like this
experience.
theory from Beware the Dreads, who says, could this Logan be from 838? We don't know what happened to them after Multiverse of Madness, and most people think that the Scarlet Witch was a culprit. Maybe a House of M situation happened that we didn't see. It's interesting. Could this be Logan from a universe we've seen before, right?
Ooh, that like Scarlet Witch showed up
Yeah.
to his universe, killed all his X-Men buddies, and somehow he felt like it was his fault. Oh.
I mean, there's a part of me that thinks we'll never see the 838 ever again, and that was like a one-time thing, and we'll see. We'll see if I'm wrong about that. But I bet it's like all new kind of stuff. I think too, like they're gonna have so much callbacks to other things.
Agree.
in
They're going
this
to
whole
keep
thing.
this streamlined.
Yeah, they want to be like, we're gonna
simple.
take a Wolverine you've never met before.
Yeah.
We'll play some of the greatest hits. We'll go visit some moments you really like. But other than that, it's gonna be all new characters.
So
Agree.
one of the big reveals in this, there's a Camartage-esque magic opening that they
Yes.
jump
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Yes. A, where do we think they're going? B, who's opening that portal for them? Is that a magic purveyor that we know? Is that a Wong, a Doctor Strange?
Gotta be. I got money on Wong.
Hell yeah.
He gets
Let's-
first
We
refusal.
know he's available.
First refusal rights.
Well, do you guys think that this portal is like?
That was my
Hank?
bad. Yep. Sorry.
Do you think this portal is going through like multiverses, or do you think someone else is on the void opening in the void, presuming that they're in the void opening?
Well, or somebody calling them from somewhere else. So Eric's already speculated in the trailer reaction on the new Rockstars channel, right? That like there's something visible in that portal that they're purposely not showing us.
Sure.
It could be a person, it could be a recognizable landscape or whatever. You think somebody opens up the portal, is like, "Hey guys, come on," and they're like, "I don't know, should we? Yeah, let's go."
No,
and then they
I
jump
think
through.
that they're running for their lives. I think that
Life is in the background of that shot.
there it is.
Yeah. He's
so,
coming, and they want to get out.
So now,
Yeah.
also, we don't know the rules that will be set forth in this probably wacky movie. What if, in the pile of dead Avengers ephemera, Wade finds a sling ring,
Right,
And it's just
opens
like,
it.
I bet I can do this, and then he makes it themselves, right?
I also have shades of like the Rogue One trailer where there was a shot of Jyn or so standing on a platform and a TIE fighter like comes down in front of her. And it was like very dramatic, and it was not in the movie at
Yes.
all. They had like just dropped in that CG TIE fighter to like build a little hype around the movie.
nothing.
There is a possibility. They're just jumping and there's no portal there whatsoever.
Yeah, or the
And they
famous
just threw it in.
The famous was an Infinity War shot of like all the Avengers running together.
and they,
that
like-
was not in the movie.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just in the
Hulk,
trailer.
yeah, it was Hulk and not Hulk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess, What shot in this trailer do you think has the highest likelihood of not being in the film? Do you think it's the portal?
Oh.
There's like a random frame where it looks like it's Mad Max.
Yes.
I think that one. That stands out.
The
to me.
crazy, it's like 5 motorcycles pulling
Yeah.
there
That
it
one.
is.
That's Mad Max. Like, are they just popping into different worlds now?
And even look ahead of it, there appears to be like a giant hamster wheel kind of mechanism
cage thing.
or something.
I mean, the motorcycle that's closest to us is one of the Hydra motorcycles from like the first Cap movie. And I think we'd seen in other set photos, like another motorcycle is one of Captain America's like motorcycles.
Oh.
And that tank thing was one, like looks like one of the Hydra tanks.
Well, I guess going back to like where do you think they might be going by jumping into that portal? A, do you think this could be the end of the movie and this is like, hey, mission accomplished, let's go home?
No.
Do you think B, this is like kind of early in the movie and it's like, well, we spent a little time in the void, we got these cameos, we met Cassandra Nova, now we've got to go chase Cassandra Nova through the multiverse or something like that?
They're usually pretty good about hiding a lot of the third act stuff. I'm saying that thinking of all the times they haven't done that. But they usually do like a fairly decent job when they need to
I also think
save stuff for like the third act. So I think a lot of what we see in this movie is like the first two, right?
Yep. Well, we just discussed it as well that they were running from Elias. So I think that they maybe got transported from the TVA to the end of the timeline. and that's
I mean,
their way out.
that's the interesting thing because in No Way Home, right? I mean, we're gonna parse the like physics of sling rings, right? Ned's able to open portals
Barely.
to other dimensions that can bring in other Spider-Men from other universes.
No, they had already.
Oh, you're right. They're already there. Thank you, John.
Ned cameo?
Ned was just, they were already
Yeah.
in the 616 and he was pulling them into the area he was in.
A lot of people in the chat saying Ned cameo for this.
Ned?
Ned or Madison.
That's
top
like,
two.
well, Ned's a Sony thing, right?
So,
Yeah.
and that's
Ned,
been the
it's
big,
like
the big
Sony
question.
deal.
We know we're going to get so many cameos from all kinds of properties, including a lot of the Fox Marvel stuff. Do we think we get any Sony Marvel stuff in
Why
this?
not? I get the impression that like when it comes to Deadpool, you just make a phone call
Yes.
and shit gets clear.
And Ryan Reynolds would be like, come on, Amy Pascal, loan us
Yeah.
these
100%.
two characters.
And I think in a world where they don't even have Spider-Man 4 like on the books yet.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, yeah, let's get something going. In the
Especially if it's
meantime.
not going to impact in any universe.
Could it be
You know what I mean?
Craven?
Whoa.
Ooh. Aaron Taylor
Maybe it's
Johnson.
Madam Web.
Do you think Ryan Reynolds would agree to a Deadpool Spider-Man movie if they were doing what he
Or like a Deadpool cameo in Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, would any of the studios want a Deadpool Spider-Man movie? No. Obviously, it could be a
I
big
think
hit. but
A24 wants
Yeah,
one.
A24.
They would love
But Spider-Man is not an R-rated superstar, unlike Deadpool.
It can be.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Also, it's kind of like, hey, both of these can be hit franchises. When you combine them, you're almost missing out. Just make 2 huge movies instead of 1 huge movie. Anyways.
But to where they could be going, right? It's probably still within the void. Like, I don't think the sling ring could get someone out of the void necessarily.
Evan has his hand up.
Well, Fat Cat, I want to get the username right. Fat Cat 513 and Brady Prelutsky also shared the same theory that John and I were talking about earlier today, which is what if it's America Chavez practicing Kamertage? She's linking her multiversal jumping powers to the sling ring. She opens the portal, they hop in, and she's like, get out of here. And then they leave.
That would be a more realistic cameo than Ned.
And she was like, I just wanted to be in another Marvel movie because I feel like they're never going to use me
I was
ever
supposed to lead
again.
the Young Avengers, and that's not happening.
I'm still here, remember me? And then
what
Shang-Chi walks into frame and is like, hey, can I get on this
What
list?
if she's doing it from her dressing room at Dancing with the Stars?
Oh, yeah.
Owned by Disney, you know, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like all of these. Probably none of them will end up being true, but that's the fun of this movie. You know what? Let's real quick shout out some of the folks that helped us bring this episode to you. Brandon, I'm asking you once again, will you smell my armpit?
I feel like people should have to pay more to watch me sniff your armpit.
That's someone's kink. There we go.
Oh, that's lovely. That's
See?
lovely.
I am factually wearing Mando deodorant. I do it even on days we're not talking about Mando deodorant on this show, shopmando.com. But I truly love this deodorant. I got to tell you. So I work this job at New Rockstars. Sometimes I go do stuff at night. Brandon and I sometimes do live comedy shows.
Don't talk about what we do at night.
Tonight we have a live comedy show.
Yes.
Whatever. You know, and it might be from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. in between showers and whatever. And I'm an active, musky man. Okay, I generate odors. I generate moisture from my armpits and other places. And I will say, when I go to bed and it's at the end of the night and I'm taking my shirt off to get into bed, a whiff of Mando hits me. And it's like, damn, still smells good. I'm currently rocking the Mount Fuji scent.
Fresh.
I have no idea why it's named that, but it's
fresh,
lovely.
Crisp.
Oh, is that what people associate with Mount Fuji?
Yeah. Crisp,
I'll take
refreshing.
it.
Fresh.
Mando is clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. I can attest to that. I rarely go 72 hours without showering, but if I did, I bet, it's just nice. It's clean, it's citrusy, it's great. That's a long time, 72 hours. I don't recommend you take it to that length in between showering, but if you needed to, Mando would be there for you. Oh, this is where I add personal experience.
Now you can go off script.
I know. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. Comes with a solid stick deodorant. That's what I've used and really love. A cream tube deodorant, which you can rub on any body part. 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash, deodorant wipes, and free shipping. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code BREAKROOM. That's over 40% off your starter pack. Use code BREAKROOM for $5 off at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. And then we also want to thank Kalshi for sponsoring today's video. We've worked with them in the past. You've probably heard us talk about them. Link on the screen. So it's the first legal financial exchange in the U.S. where you can bet on any event, including Rotten Tomatoes scores and Oscars and all kinds of stuff. So for example, right now they have something up there, Deadpool and Wolverine's Rotten Tomatoes score being above 90 is currently trading at 40 cents. So if you think it will come in at above 90, you buy it for 40 cents, you get $1 once the Rotten Tomatoes comes out if it's above 90. You can also say, no, it's going to be below 90. You can buy that for 60 cents. When it comes in, if it's below 90, you get $1. Also, if over time those numbers change, as we get closer to Deadpool and early word is coming out, it's super positive, maybe it goes up from 40 cents yes to 50 cents. You can just sell even before the thing finalizes and make 10 cents. Which, FYI, the first Deadpool had an 85 Rotten Tomatoes score. The second Deadpool had an 84. So do you think Deadpool and Wolverine's going to come in appreciably higher than those two?
I think it's probably going to do pretty well, right? I mean, I feel like they're
Trailer
really...
feels promising.
The hype machine is heavy. I feel like I think they're going to get some good reviews. I mean, we obviously haven't seen the movie. But I feel like that Rotten Tomatoes score is going to get a boost.
Now, Rotten Tomatoes is critics as opposed to audiences.
No, I know, but I still feel like even like in the critics' mind, it gets in their minds a little bit.
Yeah.
And they get hyped up for the movie.
And again, in a year without a lot of superhero stuff, in a year without a lot of Marvel stuff, maybe people will be rose glasses looking at it. They have a ton of other different markets, including politics, music, climate, economics, tech, all kinds of stuff. You can sign up by going to kalshi.com/breakroom, link on the screen and in this video's description. And the first 500 traders to make a deposit of $50 will get a free $20 credit. They also have on there whether Beyond the Spider-Verse will come out before June 2025.
I'll take that bet.
You say it will or it will not?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Nope.
I think they need a...
It's a year and change, and that'll be almost, I think, 2 years from the last one.
Yeah, it was supposed to be out in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Was it like May 2024?
Yeah, May something.
That it was supposed to come out?
March something.
I thought it was May, but maybe it was May.
I think it's March, because everyone was bemoaning it on Twitter.
Didn't they not? They don't have a script.
Well...
Maybe
I don't know. Haley, as of like last year when the movie came out, Haley Steinfeld was like, I haven't recorded anything for the second movie. Now, she might not, they might have recorded stuff and she doesn't know that it was for the second movie.
Maybe they're going to bring in Maude Garrett to record all the Haley Steinfeld lines.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
I'll do it.
Yeah, you'd be better.
Oh, okay.
In every other universe, Gwen Stacy died. That's what she said.
That's your Haley Steinfeld? No, it's uncanny. I thought for a second I was looking at her right there.
I'm a ghost spider.
I love you, Ina Kane. Really good stuff.
I'm a ghost spider. Does she say that? She says that, right?
That sounds right. And of course, check out nerdriot.shop. I'm rocking our Face Off Deadpool and Wolverine inspired tee. Maude's got the multiverse tour.
My chest.
And
Look at
Brandon,
my chest.
and Brandon's got a Breakroom hoodie just released. Breakroom merch up there.
Breakroom.
Support the channel. We love it. My father actually played an important role in launching that Breakroom line back in 1997.
Yeah, stick around to the end of the episode to
Stick around.
find out how.
Okay, let's talk about some other stuff we saw in The Void,
Yeah.
including our friend Eliath.
He's not my friend.
Just our buddy. He's a
Prominently
harmless.
featured in Loki season 1, and they really kind of kept the design from Loki with the purple
Yeah.
clouds and
And in that shot too, you can see big dead Ant-Man's full body. You can see that it's his full body laid
That's where
out
they
on the
got the
ground
helmet
there.
from.
Because it's not just
that's
his
big,
helmet.
that's
Well,
giant.
they're using his hands as the gate too. He's like laid out like this. Because later in the shot, you see his hands.
He's on
and
his
that's
tummy.
Like, that's like the gate to their little compound.
little community. Oh,
That's the little front
interesting.
door.
Well, and of course, like we could go ahead and talk about the Ant-Man of it all. Like that is, it could be a reference to a lot of things, but
Sure.
prominently featured in the Old Man Logan comic book. There was a giant skeleton that had been dead and already decomposed or whatever in the middle of a landscape. That's a comic book that follows like a very old Wolverine and a very old Hawkeye that kind of travel across this apocalyptic
Right.
United States. It's kind of been taken over by the villains in the superhero universe. And that comic book also featured Wolverine kind of inadvertently causing the death of the
Of
X-Men.
the X-Men, yeah.
Yes.
Who
So-
was doing that again? The book's been out for 5
It was a psychic had manipulated Wolverine into thinking the X-Men were bad guys, and then he killed them all,
Yeah.
only for it to be revealed. Was
came
it
to-
was
yeah.
it Emma Frost or somebody?
it was Emma
Throw in the chat what psychic was manipulating Wolverine. Anyways,
Emma Frost.
so there's at least a couple things here that they appear to be drawing from Old Man Logan. We don't know how much else they're going to hew to that storyline, but.
Because in the Void in Loki, we saw, the Void is a place for like extra variants that are like being pruned, right? In theory, like a lot of these characters, like Pyro or Lady Deathstrike, whoever, were prunes because their storylines didn't continue on, right? Their movie and things got changed by the TVA. So that's why they're there. And in the Loki season 1, when we first go to the Void, we see like a giant Yellow Jacket head.
Yes.
In the Void. So maybe there was a universe where these both were giant dudes and they killed each other, or they got pruned
Does
or
that
something.
mean cameo Ramona?
Ramona.
Ravona?
Ramona? Because what happened to her in
Oh,
season
yeah.
2?
Oh, yeah,
She's
Ramona
in-
Renslayer?
Oh,
Do we think it's
Renslayer?
the
Yeah.
same void is another big question too, right? Like, what do we do?
I would think it's the same. If they're gonna go to the trouble of like connecting the TVA and like Goliath,
Well, Yeah.
like don't have two voids. Two
You can't.
voids?
I don't think it's possible because all the multiverses and the timelines all end with
Right.
the void. So there's only one void with the infinite timelines. So
Yeah.
it all channels to
Yes.
the end.
One would
There's
think,
one
even though
void.
like some of the aesthetics, like this look is kind of like dry, arid, bright light in a lot of shots, as opposed to the kind of gloomy, overcast void
Sure.
we saw
that was quite
prominently.
lush and green, actually.
Yes.
Well, this isn't Star Wars, folks. These areas can have multiple
Oh, that's
biomes.
true. That's true.
Just
there could be all
because it
kinds
was
of.
snow one place doesn't mean it's snow
all
everywhere.
I'm gonna
Jakku and
say-
Tatooine were different.
All I'm going to say is I'll be annoyed if they avoid two voids.
There could be
You'll be
different.
annoyed at you want two voids?
Don't read into it.
What? Two voids?
Also, just some confirmation in the chat was Mysterio that
It's
manipulated.
Mysterio that manipulated him
Yeah,
in
he
Old Man
was
Logan.
across. Good.
Wait, but oh, okay, yeah. Great. In an official and clearer look at some of these Mad Max type vehicles, again, the one we just mentioned with the motorcycles driving the solar panels. or
Chris
whatever.
Hemsworth
Oh,
cameo.
and this that's the Hydra car that Red Skull drove in
Yep.
Captain America: First Avenger, except as many people have noted, with a little Iron Man logo.
It's got like an Iron Man.
Show me one more time.
What is it? Hood ornament?
hood ornament. Yeah, I don't know if
On
you
the
can
very
really
front.
make
And-
it out.
Oh,
but-
yeah, I see it.
And like in the first Iron Man, Tony was painting his little hot rod like that with the flames.
Yeah.
And that's where he like got the idea for his red and gold.
So is that from a universe where Iron Man is at the head of Hydra?
Maybe. I'll take it.
So it's Hydra.
Or maybe
We're not going to get a RDJ cameo.
maybe Red Skull was like a big Iron Man fan.
Oh,
I saw that he had this
like-
color scheme on his own car.
He got it from me.
I want to be like Iron Man.
I do want to say, Iron Cam 2000 saying it seems a lot of villains from the Foxverse are in the Void. We can talk about some of those cameos
Yes.
in a bit.
Oh, I guess
but
you assume Pyro's a villain?
Do you think some heroes are in there too? We know Elektra has been cast. We'll probably see her there. What do you guys think?
Now, apparently her name in the credits was a lot higher than anticipated. It's not like a little Blink cameo. It sounds like there could be a
You're
bit
saying
of
Blink? We're gonna get Blink in this movie?
You need to slow down.
No, Jennifer Garner might be prominently featured in
Yeah,
Deadpool.
yeah.
That might have just been the deal she struck. I mean,
Oh, true.
True.
she's got that Capital One money, you know. Like, if you,
Yeah, dog.
you want Garner in your film.
Yeah, I'm not.
gotta give her a high
yeah,
rating.
I'm not going underneath Azazel. You know what I mean?
I don't
Tell Pyro
know.
to hit the bricks.
It's a bricks, dog.
Don't at all.
Don't even know his real name. I call him Pyro on set. Don't know his name.
Do we have an image of all those characters standing in front of
Yeah.
them?
Yeah, I think pull up the Ant-Man helmet again.
Yes.
Yep.
So prominently right on either side of the staircase, we have Azazel on the right, Nightcrawler's dad, and also heavily
Yeah.
featured in X-Men First Class. Or, well, we don't know if it's canon that he's not.
Dad
Nightcrawler's
asterisk.
And then Lady Deathstrike to the stage right of the stairs from, was she in?
X2.
X2. Yes.
She got the old fill up of adamantium.
Yes.
She cried adamantium tears.
Was
when
she the
died.
one who explained the levels of power?
No.
Oh.
That was Callisto, who's also in that image. She's standing to the left there.
We think that might be
Oh,
her in
there
the
you
front
go.
left.
Yeah, yeah,
We think
yeah,
that might
yeah.
be crouched next to her, possibly a toad.
That looks like a toad stance, doesn't it?
A lot of people have said on the other side of Azazel, that might be the Russian, featured in Thomas Jane's Punisher movie, among comic book things. And then we've been guessing on some of these other characters. There's a few female characters without sleeves that we were guessing about who they could be. The black gentleman in the trench coat, we're not sure who that might be.
The one on the far off screen left, he looks like he's out of the Mad Max. He's got like the...
Yeah. There's a few red shirts there that are just gonna die
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, but we were thinking like to have them kind of prominently set up like a team. Those might all be like named characters to some degree.
Yeah,
potentially.
and like in this scenario too, it might just be like villains who were pruned, and like there aren't that many heroes in the void, or they've killed all the heroes in the void.
Yeah.
aka the giant dead Ant-Man behind
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, trying to enclose everyone.
And any of these like hero cameos we might see again. If that is them jumping through the portal, that could happen halfway through the movie, and then it's like, all right, let's go dance around the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
And visit some old heroes.
Yeah.
Some old villains.
You
Some
think
old
almost,
variants.
almost like a baby Endgame of them like assembling a
Yeah.
squad to come back and fight Cassandra Nova. That'd be cool. We get a clear look, speaking of whom, at Emma Corrin's Cassandra Nova. And we even get a fun display of Cassandra Nova's power set.
Can I demonstrate it?
Yes.
Yeah.
They have like a great face when they're doing it too. It's just like very like
Nonchalant.
yeah,
No, she's like smiling.
very like intrigued by the whole thing.
And of course, Cassandra Nova, complicated backstory.
There's no way they're going to do the backstory from the comics. There's no way she's going to be like a stillborn that goes into a sewer that like manifests.
He did it in
all the
Harry Potter.
cells.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
but
was a
that's-
ghost that floated around and then attached to the back of
But-
the dude's head.
but Cassandra
and then he
Nova-
turned a lady into a snake.
And in the comics is like basically Professor X's
You're not
twin
wrong.
sister. There's some complicated in utero fights and blah, 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 blah. The Shi'ar are involved, of course. But we do kind of see, I mean, the bald head, and a lot of people were saying the uncanny likeness to James McAvoy's Charles Xavier is there, but also the power set of like clearly controlling Logan to be able to do stuff beyond, against his will.
I mean, Magneto could do that as well, though.
Oh, good point.
Same power. It's only happening to Wolverine
That we see.
that we see.
You think,
Interesting.
it's Magneto shaved his head and is pretending to be?
I do think though that we are looking at multiverse, and I think in regular X-Men-esque world, it is Professor Xavier. It's Xavier. It's Charles. But I think in this particular one, where maybe this Wolverine was a part of, I wonder if it's like the team that he let down was led by Cassandra. And so this is they're being
it was
reunited,
like
perhaps?
Cassandra Nova was the Professor X of
Yes.
this universe.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Or there was
It's like Loki, you've
Yes.
got your
Right.
variants and they can be different.
Oh, interesting. Or I mean, that would be, and you think maybe that also caused Cassandra Nova to turn bad
Yes.
and run this
That's my
gulag of goons, a goon log, if you
You
will.
know, in Cassandra's opinion, it's the X-Men who are bad.
True.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think, and also Danny Orange in the chat was also agreeing. I think Professor X variant, very
Yeah.
possible theory. I like.
Right.
I just think
yeah.
they're going to simplify it, and we've already done variants. It's already been set up in 2 seasons of Loki. To start sort of like saying these spiritual connections or things like that is going to be too hard. So I think variant is like, we're all there.
There could be like a weird meta-ness to everything we're seeing too, where like the reason Cassandra Nova's in the void is because the TVA was like, this story's a little messy and we don't want
Yes,
to get into
you
it.
can't kill-
So we put you in the void. Pyro, we didn't want to continue you in the void.
They're from a reality where Cassandra Nova, maybe manipulating Wolverine like Mysterio in the comic
Yeah.
book, had him kill all the X-Men. And the TV's like, whoa, we can't kill all the X-Men. All of you guys get pruned.
This story is no good.
Next.
I mean, the fact that he's like, Feige won't allow XYZ. Like, if they establish that, like, Feige is the one above all, if that's something they get into, that have gotten into the comics where they speak to Stan Lee.
Feige's Watcher confirmed.
Yeah, if Feige is the one above all, and the TVA is like, look, we're just taking orders from the guy upstairs, okay? So
Who's literally the Watcher.
yeah.
Who's
Well, even
Feige?
more than the Watcher, because the one above all can like affect things. The Watcher just watches.
What do you think? Speaking of things
true. He can do
things
more
in
than
the
that.
trailer that may not make it into the film, do you think all these Feige references make it into the movie?
I mean, this could be, extra takes of different. I think that will happen because that seems like, right, he gets taken away from the party. He has the whole conversation with the TVA, gets put back right before he was gone. The party's still going on like he never left.
Yeah.
And I forget the character's name, but she recognizes that, like,
Blind Owl?
hey, you
Is
were
that-
gone or something like that. Yeah. And he's like, you won't believe where I just was.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? Because everyone in the background is just like being normal. So I think, all that happens, they talk to him, they put him back, and then he has to make a decision, and blah, 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 blah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and if like his life is the best that it's been, but he has to leave it all for
Right.
something else, something bigger than him.
Or it's
I
all
like
going to
that.
get destroyed, right? Because he shows the photo to Logan. He's like, I'm going to lose all of this.
Yeah. There you go. We've got the movie mapped
We've
out.
got it.
You just
Interesting.
watch it now.
There it is.
Other thoughts in the chat? Questions, comments?
Lots. My mind is racing right now, trying to order them all. But I do have a question. Do you think that this villain, Cassandra Nova, do you think that she's one and done for this movie? I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people are very excited, given this very dark character with a dark background. But if they do change it, do you think that, what do you think?
I feel like they want to kind of wrap up a story with this movie, right? Wrap up the trilogy of Deadpool we've had so far. Yet again, wrap up the Wolverine story, a story we've wrapped up 10 times. But just like this is it. And any future stuff will be new stories. I think by the end of this movie, Deadpool will be in a different place. They will establish him as like a capital N Nexus being. He'll have a seat at the TVA, and he can pop in and out as he wants from here on out.
In saying that, there is room for a new big bad with the whole Kang situation.
Okay.
So
You're saying like put Cassandra into the Kang spot? I feel like they're using Cassandra here just to be like a one and done kind of
King
villain.
Sandra? Confirmed?
Oh, there's the
Cassandra
thumbnail.
no Kang?
No, the first one was better.
Okay, well, thank
It's
you.
okay.
I kind of like that idea.
Try.
John just threw something
John
in the
tried to
studio.
throw
Either as
towel.
a vote of confidence or dissidence. We don't know. So if do you think, I guess, like, I don't know if this trailer adds enough fuel to the fire either way, but do you think, like, this increases your confidence that this movie ends with Deadpool in the MCU? Brandon seems to say yes.
Yeah, he'll be in. He'll be in.
Is Deadpool the one who tears the fabric between Marvel and X-Men? Is he the reason why the mutants start
Ooh,
cross-world sharing? And then we can get into...
And maybe that's one reason, right? Like, even the confirmed cameos from Fox properties that we know about, Elektra, some others have been hinted at, not mutants, right? Do we think the reason we're not seeing any heroes in the void is because those are going to be cast with new, younger actors?
Mayhaps.
And not any existing. I guess technically Pyro's a mutant, right?
Yeah.
But like Where there's not going to be a Cyclops, there's not going to be a Jean Grey or anything like that.
Well, maybe they are all dead, and that's no. They're the X-Men. They have to. I'm just like trying to see like what is the C grade, the C tier that they bring in. No, I just get off the camera off me. I'm over the thought.
You put Deadpool in like a spot of the TVA where he's the head of like, the kind of like mutant immigration program, right?
Ooh.
You want to come into the MCU, you got to go through Deadpool. He'll vet you, make sure you're cool, and then let you in at the end.
Loki cameo confirmed?
I think Loki's got to be in this movie, right?
Wait, do you
Really?
think
For a
if it's
second.
the same Void, do you think we see any of the old Lokis running
Possibly.
around?
That's what I mean.
Oh, could we see a Sylvie? Could we see a Gator Loki? Could
Yeah,
we see
yeah.
I think you'll see Hiddleston in this movie at some point.
Really?
I want Deadpool
It
to
would be
play
so
the
weird not to.
multiverse strings like a harp real bad.
Ooh.
That's what I want.
Oh, he's like, hey, why don't you go take a bathroom break? And he's
Yeah.
like,
You don't think, or he'll like go take a piss on a tree and it's like
Yggdrasil,
and
or-
Loki's like, what the hell are you doing?
That would be wild.
Sorry, I just needed
I
to
mean,
break.
Idris
this.
Elba cameo.
He returns, or
Oh,
Idris Elba should play the Idris is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Boy. Oh.
No. From
He doesn't do
Thor.
Heimdall's
dead, but he can voice act for something else.
I
Right?
think
Is
That's
he?
true.
Which timeline is he dead from?
Ugh, I don't
Come
wanna
on.
talk
Let's bring Knuckles in. Just bring Idris Elba doing Knuckles.
I
Bring him
say
in.
bring in
Bring
Lufa!
Knuckles in.
Bring in Lufa!
Lufa.
Come on, Lufa.
I know what you're saying now. I get it. It's Lufa. Right, he's going to solve all the
He's
problems.
gonna tuck his hands into
I,
his pockets like
I
this.
have a Lufa.
Alice.
Alice,
Alice.
you don't want to do this,
Guys,
Alice.
if you haven't seen Luther, now is the chance to
it's
watch
good.
it. It's very
It
good.
gets off the rails.
Yeah, they're a
very
little
good.
inconsistent, but the first couple are very
Yo,
good.
cops in the UK, they're wild. They don't carry guns. They're just walking around. They're
I don't in
crazy.
Australia either.
they're
Just
crazy.
dressed. No,
Just
Luther's
dress how
got
they want.
looks, dude. He's got
Got
some
all his
fits,
looks. They got
man.
health care.
He's got a hot ex-wife.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about Alice. You gotta get yourself an order. I'm Lufa.
That actress is so
feel
good.
like
What's her
I'm in
name?
the show.
The little redhead she was on The Affair.
Yes. Oh, it's
The
good.
woman in the walls.
Evan's
Anyways.
so mad we got off.
Much like Deadpool,
I can picture her face.
we've gone off the rails.
So we were talking before, like, do we think, Deadpool, like, do we think this is like the end, right? Is the last time we're going to see Deadpool? Like, he wants to save his world. Does that mean he's not going to be in the MCU proper? Or
Or does he just bring? I mean, he voices in the trailer, or somebody does, right? Like everybody, we have to save everybody I love, or something like that. Do you think he just takes everybody he loves into the MCU?
I mean, I really think if we'll see other Deadpools, right? We saw like Dogpool in this trailer and stuff. But like, if we're gonna make this version of Wade Wilson our Deadpool, I think it will have some sort of special ability to have this little pocket universe where his friends and family get to live on and they're happy and he can go there whenever he wants. But he's gonna have to work and he's gonna have to pop in and out of other universes,
Yeah.
be an Nexus being, quip some jokes. But it's a good excuse that if he has a place where he can go and get away, then he's not
Headquarters.
always in the
On
MCU.
call.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's still seeing everything from the TVA offices.
Right.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Now we're supposed to go into chat Q&A, but I have a question that has been burning me this entire episode. You got up from the desk to get a pen. What was the use of that pen? Was it just to hold it?
Yeah,
It's my new gimmick, Mod.
Oh no.
And he literally
Hey.
walked away from the show.
Hey,
in the
I'm
middle
a-
of the show.
I thought you were
I'm a
gonna
pen
write,
guy now,
I thought you
okay?
were gonna write something.
we put a
down,
cap on it? I'm
and I
afraid
was
I'm gonna
like,
get hit.
It's so pressing. He had to get the pen. It was just your conductor's.
I remembered that I held a pen for one episode and I made a joke that it's my new gimmick to be a pen guy. And I didn't have a pen the very next episode and somebody left a comment already he doesn't have his pen.
Now,
So
No.
you're just the
So I
pen
gotta have
guy.
the pen.
Zach, I gotta tell you, you're a little late to join the pen club. Because Maude and I are already in the pen
We've
club.
been in it for a
Yeah,
while
she's pin
now.
13, I'm pin 14. If you want to be pin 15,
Yeah, you could
can
be
join.
15.
You can join and be pin 15.
I'm one of the biggest pen 15s you're ever gonna meet.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, we're gonna have to write it on your hand and make it official.
John's gonna go get the paper towel roll he threw earlier. He's re-rolling so he can throw it again.
Whee!
And once Zach is pin 15, we'll open
Hey,
applications for
we
pin
all have our
16,
gimmick.
okay?
I've got a pen. John has a paper towel roll. Brandon's got his hair. Everybody needs a gimmick.
Emotional support water bottle.
There it is.
Listen,
It is.
a beautiful, voluptuous woman with a trumpet once told me you gotta have a gimmick if you're gonna get ahead.
Voluptuous.
Yeah.
Now voluptuous is his.
Yeah.
That was 2 words
Wait,
combined.
what is that a reference to?
Gypsy.
Oh, okay. Voluptuous.
Voluptuous.
What, how did you get voluptuous? What is the other word you've got in there?
Voluptuous and lumpy?
Maybe. Maybe.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's go to our voluptuous friends in the chat. Do we got some questions there?
Yeah, we got a lot of questions. Let's keep it cameo focused for a second.
Sure.
Beware the Dreads. Any chance you think we see Uatu the Watcher or Captain Carter?
My only hesitation around the Captain Carter is like, I feel like if they go back to that live action too often, it doesn't hit quite as hard.
Agree.
And it's a little confusing for the audience. Maybe if they're going to do that again, they save that for Secret Wars. If we got a live action Jeffrey Wright, but they gave him a big old gross head, I would love that.
I would rather that.
I think they're saving that, right? They want to do the live action Jeffrey Wright. They haven't done it yet. I think this could be a good one. He's the guy that should be showing up in all the Marvel
They've Jeffrey
movies,
wronged
right?
him, haven't they?
They really have.
There it is. Do you think when we see Uatu live action, is it fully CGI?
Yes.
To make him like kind of ephemeral or like
Maybe even like make him like transparent, like
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
like a voice in the sky kind of a thing or
Yeah.
something.
No, I want like the physical dude in the robes.
Well,
like he's
that
on
one-
Star Trek or something.
What was that? Was it in the first Guardians movie when Stan Lee was on that like moon talking
It's in
to all the
Guardians 2.
Yeah,
Guardians
talking
Volume
to
2.
all the whatever that species of.
They looked like other Watchers.
Yes, but they were all dudes in foam heads.
Oh yeah, they had big old domes.
Love it.
Kobe-Wan Kenobi asking a few questions about cameos here. First, really quick one. Do we see a prune Josh Brolin Thanos for Deadpool to joke about?
That'd be nice.
Now, do you remember when he got asked if he was going to be in Deadpool, and he was very adamant that he was saying no, but then was like, "Oh wait, I have to make it more vague so that there is an air of like mystery."
Well, and they were asking him in regards to Cable too, right?
Yeah,
Not so much as like appearing as Thanos.
No, it was going to be Cable.
Yeah.
So then I think no.
Also, are we gonna say if they're like in an office at one point and there's a picture on the wall of like Thanos or something like that? We're not counting that as a cameo, right? That's just a little Easter egg.
You need a person walking around and they have at least one line.
Yeah, they need
line
a
of
shoot
dialogue.
day. Yeah.
And also they ask any pruned variants of people that Deadpool already knows, like Vanessa or anyone from X-Force.
Ooh.
John audibly said, "Oh God," off screen.
God. Oh God.
Yeah, because I think if it's a prune Vanessa, it like kind of retreads like Doctor Strange territory with Rachel McAdams' character,
Christine
Palmer, and it feels like if him and Vanessa are broken up in 3, it feels like that's not the well they want to go back to.
Right.
But anyone else, I don't know.
I think they're broken up because they're not going to end up together and they want the audience to agree with that.
John, you're not mic'd.
We'll relay
John,
it.
this is bad TV, John.
Cowboys fan 92 on YouTube asking, thoughts on us seeing any other Fox X-Men cameo apart from Elektra? If you all had to pick one Fox X-Men to see,
Oh jeez.
who would it be?
And we're saying Toad off the table, Lady Deathstrike.
Sure. We already know they're there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean obviously like Professor X or Magneto, but that seems too easy.
What's like a really unusual?
I mean,
one to see?
it would be great to get. I know we just saw Beast in the Marvels, but you get Kelsey Grammer in the blue face again, like fur on face. It's not like CGI.
Yeah.
Like you get him there and you do the makeup.
Yeah.
On that note,
just to make him do that, I'm hoping for that.
on that note, and I'm pretty sure Marvel would not want to do this for an obvious reason. I want Michael Chiklis as the thing, baby.
in the foam rubber. They should have an area of the void where like these are the guys we can only show for 2 seconds because the makeup takes 6 hours, and it's like, hey, it's like the thing. It's Kelsey Grammer. It's Mystique.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
I was thinking like going back to First Class. Like all the kids that you've got your Jennifer Lawrence as.
Right. Bring back
Mystique.
Darwin. Bring back Darwin.
He really needed another moment, didn't he?
Yeah, there was a lot of justice for Darwin
Yeah.
in the chat.
Who's the guy, the MacGyver guy who?
The MacGyver.
He played MacGyver in something else. He's like the good-looking blonde guy, but like
Oh,
he
he
does
was
the
Havoc?
sonic boom.
Oh, he was
Havoc.
Havoc,
Yeah,
yeah.
but like to
Oh.
do his ability.
I was like, the MacGyver guy. I think it's MacGyver.
People will know what I'm talking
He's the
about.
guy. He takes a bunch of weird objects and he makes a bomb out of them.
Sounds like Forge.
And he's a MacGyver guy.
Him.
The
First person that
MacGyver
popped
guy.
into my head. So I want to honor that. And then I was like, Psylocke, Olivia Munn? Days of Future. No,
Right.
that wasn't Days of Future.
Yep.
That was the one after. That
X3, right?
She was in
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
It was
Oh, Apocalypse.
Yeah, I mean,
Give Apocalypse X-Men
you
another
could have
shot.
Oscar Isaac sitting in the
Oscar
corner in all his
Isaac.
makeup, being like, "I really hate doing this.
That's a
stop.
fun one.
Please stop.
Disney has blackmail material on me.
Please free me from my
I
contract."
like that.
Yeah.
So was that Zoe Kravitz Storm in that one?
No,
Oh,
it's
what's that?
Alexandra's ship.
Oh,
No,
right,
Zoe
right.
Kravitz was the butterfly.
Firefly character,
Pixie?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
that's
Pixie.
not
Angel.
Pixie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Angels.
Yeah.
Yes.
She had the wings.
Am I gonna-
No, Angel is actually
Not that.
Oh,
Angel.
her name is
Angel
Angel, but the mutant
Salvador,
name
right?
is something.
Yes.
Metamorph? No.
She was literally
Yeah.
the butterfly. She had the
Right.
dragonfly,
Right.
she had the wings, and then she could bleh with the acid.
Oh, that's right. The ass.
Yeah. That
let's
scene, that
see.
whole scene is just like really permanently cemented into my brain, it seems.
And
Stop.
Love it.
the gamer NJ, what would be the best cameo in this film that isn't the OG Avengers? So best MCU cameo.
Oh. Best MCU cameo.
Well, I mean,
Which would
At-
qualify for best, right? Most surprising.
also, if
Most
we're saying
bang
a
for your
cameo,
buck.
I mean, just a cameo, it's often speculated Taylor Swift's Dazzler.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah,
Is that gonna be, that would be a pretty big pop
Right.
if she does show up.
You know, and she's best friends with Ryan Reynolds.
Blake Lively, yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
That would be.
There's a whole, she included the names of their kids in a song.
Go.
Of Ryan and Blake's kids?
Yeah.
In the Dazzling song or in a
You know
different
this?
song?
No, it is a different song.
Okay.
In one of the 31 tracks she's just released.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Brings me back to my
Yeah, Eras Tour reference there.
This would be a really good cameo. I mean,
MCU cameo. Who needs
I mean,
more?
Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Tom Holland Spider-Man
Tom
would be
Holland
fun.
Spider-Man. Pretty
I
good.
mean, if I saw some people online saying, "What if that portal is bringing them to the?" Oh, you just say Hulk?
Yeah.
Bruce Banner Hulk or Edward Norton Hulk? Oh, Bruce Banner Hulk, yeah. Or Mark Ruffalo Hulk.
Yeah.
I saw some people speculating online that portal brings them to the battle for Earth, like the Endgame battle.
Wow.
That would,
I mean, it'd be kind of fun
Yeah.
because like they weren't there, and had the Fox merger taken place a couple years before, they
would be
would have
there.
been.
Yeah, they
And what if
would've
it's
been.
like we missed out on this, and it's them like stabbing a Chitauri or something like that? That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
I like it.
on that note, Ellie Finelli asked, "Will this movie entirely take place in the Fox universe, or could there be a significant portion that takes place on the MCU Earth 616?"
I think a lot of it will be Fox
Fox.
stuff just because they want to wrap all that up.
Yep.
And like, anytime they start messing with the 616 MCU, they're like, well, there's 10 other projects I need to know about this, right? Anything they want to do with Fox, it's done.
Contained.
And wrapped up. But I bet, there's got to be some part of this movie, the ending, that is like, here you are. You're here now.
Yeah.
This is it.
And that's
Yeah.
where we go moving forward.
And they immediately go to Tiamat. And he's like, I've had so many questions about this. And then the last 20 minutes is just a question and answer session.
That's it.
Where he's like, well, how come no one's talked about it? And they're like, well, you're just seeing movies. They don't necessarily address the issue, but like a lot of people are talking about it.
And what if it's also like Wolverine being like, so I have an adamantium skeleton.
Right.
Here you have vibranium.
Yeah.
Do you guys have adamantium?
Yeah, if he comes to the MCU, does his adamantium just disappear?
Oh, and has to be re-put in with vibranium.
Right.
Right.
Which is funny because in the Krakoa storyline in the comic books where they can die and get reborn or whatever, they will remake Wolverine's body every time, and they're like, and we have some adamantium to put on his bones every time. It's
Every
just
time.
kinda
Every
silly.
time.
It's silly to think that they have to do that every time.
Them
have
going to
to
like
go through
Legion, they're
that
like,
again?
please make more.
Yeah, please make me more.
But does he have to suffer through it every time as well?
That's
Well,
incredibly-
because he's in the pod. I mean, they really like it's like the end of Endgame where everyone came back and there's no problems, right? They really kind of gloss over it. Like, yeah, we put it on while he's still knocked out. Don't worry, he doesn't suffer. He doesn't go through the
Well,
psychological
I
trauma.
think he does. and
Well, the
that's-
memories are still
That's
there.
character building for
There
him.
you
Yeah.
That's
great
why
point.
he's so mad.
That's how you get ripped.
That's why he drops F-bombs.
I think the best MCU cameo to go back would be Frank, the man who was turned into goo by Yellow Jacket and flushed down the toilet. I'd love to see his triumphant return.
Now, is he coming back as goo?
No, he comes back. Yeah, he comes back as a voided version of the goo. He's like, I didn't get enough screen time.
Hold on, who owns Pokemon's owned by Nintendo?
Yeah.
There is a Pokemon that looks like the goo that he turns into.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that would be a cool evolution.
What's his name?
It's like Klondike or something.
Klondike.
What is it?
Delicious.
What would you do
Primer?
for a Klondike bar?
No, not at all. Is it?
Slimer?
Which goo?
I can find it.
I'm
Which
trying to
goo?
Come back to me.
I'm trying to think.
I'm not playing that game
Okay.
again.
God damn it. All right, so
I
Clay,
have 2 goos. Like you do.
Before you have 2 cups of goo. You gotta
Clay-
tell me which goo do you knew?
Kalei 49 and Kojo 1990 asking questions about that scene that we talked about where Wolverine's in the white shirt and he falls to his knees. We see all those big stone things. Do we think that's something we are actually seeing happening, or is that a kind of vision that Cassandra Nova or someone else is making?
It does have that kind of like feel
interesting.
to it, right?
Yeah.
Like
It's a great theory.
Not realistic. You know, someone in our Slack at the office was joking about like Gladiator, right? Where they're walking across the wheat field.
yeah.
But the Field of Reeds, right? We just recently saw that in Moon Knight a couple years ago. You know, that's part of like the Egyptian afterlife. Is it some sort of weird afterlife for mutants or something? Is it like,
Or is it?
because he's in like the white shirt?
But
and
is it even
jeans.
also more specific? It's they made a joke about the third act
Right.
dramatic
Yes.
flashback, right? Is that just the third act flashback that he's in right there?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
It's
him
a very
walking out
bizarre
of the
scene.
X mansion after slaughtering all his compatriots. I don't know.
Into
Could be in the
X
void.
field of wheat.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
Clodsire.
Clodsire. That is pretty close to
Clodsire,
Klondike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clodsire. He looks like he's just a slimy little
Little
dude.
Frank. Little
Yeah.
Frank.
Yeah.
Little Frank. That I'm gonna catch one and nickname him Frank.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah.
Nice.
Gotta catch all the goose.
I gotta goo them all.
I'm not playing that game again.
What
I'm
other
gonna throw some goo. I would like you to catch all the goose.
What other questions?
Okay, so actually on the topic of third act, how Ellie Finelli and I think some other people in the movie in the chat were asking or talking about before the stream started, how much of the movie do you think we've seen already? Movie's rumored to just be over 2 hours. Do you think they're giving away anything? Like, do you think all this is the first like 20, 30 minutes? I mean, Marvel kind of needs a hit, you know, so I think it'd be foolish if they showed anything past like anything
Yeah.
in the third act, so to speak, but
Yeah, I do think it's a lot of like first and second. I'm thinking of like the big Marvel movies recently and how they've handled the trailers, like No Way Home, right? They did show third act fight stuff, right? They showed the Statue of Liberty in the trailers, but they were editing out people, obviously. We talked about Endgame, how they'd use, in Infinity War, using different shots they don't use.
Yeah.
And in like Endgame, they took people out of the trailer that were later in it. And again, they didn't show anything about the time heist, right? That was like a big kind of, I wouldn't say third act, second act surprise, or maybe third act because that movie has like 7 acts, but halfway through surprise. I think they're showing a lot of first, second act stuff, and they don't want to show you anything else.
I also
beyond
feel
that.
pretty confident that other than what we've already seen, I bet we never see in a trailer any of the other big cameos. Because I also don't think like
they're
showing
gonna
us
give us one
Jennifer.
more, right?
Maybe we get Jennifer Garner just because it's been out in the press. But we've heard rumors of a lot of other like prominent cameos. I bet they don't show us those because also I don't think that's going to sell any tickets that just a normal trailer
haven't already
would.
been sold.
You know, nobody's like, I'm out on Deadpool Wolverine. Jennifer Garner's Elektra. I'm in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In fact, that's just a treat for people that are already planning on coming to the movie and
Yeah.
would rather be surprised in the theater, right?
I
So,
don't
like,
know. When my grandma finds out the Capital One lady's going to be in this movie, she's going to pop.
$1 billion easy
She's going to pop.
for all the Capital One heads in
Yeah,
the chat.
but I think like what they have to do, right, is establish some tone, which they've definitely done with
Yes.
Maud's counted 6 F-bombs, right? And
I
the
did.
violence and the action sequence. They have to establish stakes, which I think they're starting to do. And we were kind of saying that probably the next trailer is mostly Cassandra Nova, right? And maybe is like a lot of like the antagonist. So you get a sense of stakes. The world is going to, be destroyed. This is the most powerful villain ever, blah, 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 right? Like, but then once you've done that, like, you've probably got people in,
Right.
right?
Because they probably have one more trailer
There's
when
3
tickets
months.
go on sale. Don't you
It's
think?
3 months until it's out.
Yeah, but they're not going to put out like a bunch more trailers.
They could remix all the clips they've already used in different ways,
They'll
right?
show like TV spots
They'll do-
that are quick.
I just
and-
think that this sort of trailer, because I think they've done a really good job of like
Mm-hmm.
the setup and like understanding that Deadpool is there to rescue or to convince Wolverine to go on this mission, but this should have come out 6 weeks before the movie's out.
You think it's too soon?
Too soon.
3 months, 3 more
Too early.
months, and I really like the information that we've got. I like that we don't know the entire movie that's in front of
Sure.
us. I just think like what other little tidbits are they going to keep putting out to breadcrumb us until the release date?
I imagine like the movie studios, right, are salivating over the thought of another like Barbenheimer event this summer, which isn't happening organically. Like that was a weird thing, and you know, they couldn't have tried to make that happen because if they tried, it would.
I think this is the same weekend,
Yeah.
right? This is coming out the same weekend as Barbenheimer last year. Is that right?
Yes.
And this will be around Comic-Con.
What's the
and
other
stuff
movie
like that.
that's coming out?
No,
Well,
it's-
I don't think
it's
they
just-
have another one.
It's
I
just
think
Barb.
They're trying.
No,
They're
Heimer.
trying to say like this is, you know, it's like two movies because you have all these characters coming together. Blah 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 blah. But I think just kind of building up the hype now and early to sustain itself.
Secure.
Because if you get hyped up now, you're not going to be like enjoying like, well, I don't want to see the movie actually, right? They just want to keep kind of building it. So it does feel a little early. Like
Yeah.
we did just get a trailer back in February, but I think they're feeling punchy and they're like, well, we got one more in us, but when we do our tickets on sale. And
It's also right now. It's kind of a dead time for Hollywood. This was a really low box office week. There's not a lot going on in the movie world. Maybe they're like, if we wait too long, other summer movies are going to
Yeah.
start making more noise. We don't want to compete with those. Maybe there's some of that. Yeah,
I think June. What do you reckon? Early June?
it's when
For
we
what?
get the next big
for
trailer.
tickets.
The big,
Yeah.
yes.
What if the other movie is just Wolverine and Deadpool? They release a second movie, different.
Oh, surprise double feature.
So, yeah, double movie in the vein of Taylor Swift.
What if the other movie is Deadpool and or it's Deadpool and Wolverine and then Wolverine and
That's
Deadpool?
what he
Yeah,
just
that's
said.
what I just
That's
said.
what he just said.
No.
Are
See,
you
what they
holding
do
the pen?
is
See?
This is proof. No one
on
was
the even numbered screens, it's Deadpool and Wolverine. On the odd number screens, it's Wolverine and Deadpool.
What if it's just the same movie? They just show it backwards.
That would be terrible if you accidentally sat down to see it for the first time and it starts at the end.
Yeah.
And goes back and you're like, what?
And John David Washington is there, and he says, "Don't think about it, just feel it." It's for the
What are we, a bunch, some sort of gang squad?
Or it's like the original theatrical release of the movie Clue.
Oh,
Every
yes.
time you went to the theater, you would get a different ending. It was famously a disaster, and it wasn't until the home video release that they put all the endings back to back, and people loved the movie. Yeah.
So you
That's true.
would roll the dice and you didn't know how it was
You
going to
didn't know
end.
what-
And
you
so you
didn't
talk
know
to
the
someone, you're like,
ending.
oh my gosh, I can't believe it was Colonel Mustard. And someone's
Yeah.
like, it wasn't.
They're
That's
like,
right.
honey, I saw that movie and it wasn't that. You lied when you went and said you went to the movie.
We're
You
getting
were
a
popping out like,
divorce.
no, honey, please. I wasn't with my secretary.
I'm
I
taking
swear I
the
saw the
kids.
movie Clue. Then who was the one who did the murder, Jeremy? Who was the one who did the murder? It was the maid. I swear, no, not nice. I saw the movie, Jeremy. Okay, it was Scarlet. It was Miss Scarlet.
Scarlet.
You lying sack of shit. Pack your bags and get out of the house.
No, let him cook. He's still going. I feel
And then
like.
right when they signed the divorce papers, he's like, "Oh, what a terrible! I'm gonna go to Blockbuster Video and just, I guess I'll watch Clue
See,
again."
Well, see, she was right. Maybe it was
Maybe
Scarlet.
I had an aneurysm or something. And he sees all the endings, and he goes to call her, and he doesn't.
And then,
Scene.
and then
No,
their
scene.
son,
Put your pen away.
Their son walks in. It's like their marriage could have ended like this, or
Okay, that was good. That was good. And I think this is actually the premise of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, there we go.
Great, perfect.
Just bring it all around.
Perfect
All right.
movie.
So we are. We've got 10 minutes left here.
Okay, I
Sarah?
just want to pitch one thing.
Okay.
What if in some screens it's Deadpool and Wolverine, but in other screens it's
No.
Wolverine and
That's
Deadpool?
so good. Did
That's
you
a
come
great
up with
idea.
that?
I did.
That's
Thank
so
you,
smart.
Thank you.
Possibly the smartest thing you've ever said.
I'm a great collaborator.
You're saying this, Brian forgot to edit that.
All right, Sarah Hatchadorian asks something that I thought that we would have gotten into in the first part where we're talking about the different Logans, but how would
feels like
Wolverine
we'll-
fail his... No, I didn't write it in. I thought it'd come up organically. One of those things. We'll cut it out. Okay, Sarah Hatchadorian asks, how would Wolverine fail his own world and still make it out? Do you think Wolverine may have been in that position that Deadpool is in now and has been brought to the TVA? It is a good question, right? If this Wolverine failed his world, when did they decide to pluck him, or are they, they just like always just waiting for the moment?
Well, or it does seem, I mean, just based on the shots we see, right? Like when opening scene, Deadpool is seeing him in the bar, that feels like Wolverine has not been plucked from his universe.
No, and he's
still
not welcome
in it.
anywhere. So
He's
he's
not
very
welcome.
well known.
Maybe it's like everybody in that world knows that he's responsible for the X-Men getting killed.
He's ostracized.
Right?
Completely.
And-
Can't
and-
even drink
and-
himself stupid.
And it's already a suited and booted Deadpool showing up. So he's already been brought into the TVA, and we had that fun sequence. So maybe then he is being sent by the TVA. right? We are to assume maybe to recruit this Wolverine.
Yeah, it is a good point. Like, why do they need him? Why are they sending Deadpool? I mean, they can't send TVA agents, right? He's not going to come back with them. But yeah, why do they need this Wolverine so bad? Why do they want Wade to go get him?
Well, and there's the shot of Matthew McFadden's character with the broken nose, right? Is that because maybe the TVA did try to go get Logan?
Maybe, or like,
That's funny. I like that.
maybe Deadpool knocked him out and was like, I'm going to go get
With the
a
interrogation.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
And he brings him back. He's like, what are you doing? We don't need this guy.
This guy got all of his friends killed.
You got the wrong Wolverine. They probably wanted him to get a different Wolverine.
I do have a question. If
Okay.
we're fucking with the TVA, and
Yeah.
usually you have the bloop, this rectangles that
Sure.
are you why do we also have the spin warp?
Because it's
Interesting.
Not the TVA. It's not the TVA.
Oh, so like I do think, and it's highly likely,
They didn't see any time doors.
given what
That's
we know
true.
about the Deadpool character and his irreverence and his lack for respect for authority, right? That like they recruit him, them kind of grabbing him is the call to action, but then he's like, yeah, I'm not doing what you guys want.
No,
I got my own
absolutely.
agenda,
Yeah.
right? Like, because maybe even they want him to do something that is bad for him or bad for the universe or something like that, right? And he's like, no. Me and my buddy Logan are going to fix this or something like that, right?
Is that him?
Yeah, instead of using the time door, he's like, oh, I don't need your equipment. I don't need. Here's your prune gun back. I don't need all that. And then he's got the secret ring. And
A
he's,
little sling rings.
yep, that's what that was.
Torn to hand jive.
Are you gonna do it? You did it. What is it? Great. Yeah, we're millennials.
Elder millennials.
Speak for yourself.
I'm elder. I won't put that on anybody else.
So some questions from YouTube here. Let's see.
Like official YouTube?
Boiled Odin Productions asking, do you think Cassandra Nova is the actual big bad or is another baddie in the shadows hiding?
Baddie in the Shadows.
Baddie in the shadows. Put it on a shirt. Nerdride.shop. You'll see
Baddie
it
in the
next week.
Shadows. You can check out all my content at baddieintheshadows.com.
Look at that baddie in the shadows over there.
BADDY.
Twitch.tv.
Just like your
Baddie.
daddy.
Shadows.
You thought I was a goodie in the light. Whole time I was a baddie in the shadows.
Yeah, Cassandra's not the main villain. Or
What?
Maybe,
You don't think so?
It's Wolverine's
Well,
main villain.
I think
Yeah.
I think
I think.
the TVA is going to be a malignant force in this,
sure.
right? And like they don't have good intentions or whatever. Now she's the more active presence, and maybe it's like we have twin kind of.
Yeah,
Antagonist?
You're assuming that, like, you know, the TVA, traditionally we didn't like their actions, but now they've been retaken over. So in theory, they're working on the side of goodness, unless, you know, Paradox is kind of doing his own thing outside the purview of like Hunter B-15 or something like that, is striking out, sticking with the old guard, something like that.
Cameo?
Maybe some cameos. That's why I think you'll get like some Loki cameos, either Loki himself or other people from the TVA.
I would say like bureaucracies tend to, or all entities tend to drift towards their like natural state, right? And even though the ending of Loki season 2 did make us feel like, oh, the TVA is on a
Sure.
better path now, don't you think like by the time this movie begins, they've
Yeah.
drifted back to their like over controlling,
Very
meddling
sweet.
Yeah,
bad
because I
guys?
have no reason to believe that Paradox would care that Wade Wilson's timeline is going to be destroyed, so he needs to fix something. So he's pulled him in to fix it. No, he wants something from Wade, something he can't get himself, either through him or through other members of the TVA that are aligned with him.
I think it's also like casting Matthew McFadden speaks to something.
Yeah, we don't trust.
He has
Tom
that.
Hanks.
He's,
Yes.
he's not a lovable. He's not a Luke Wilson. He's not a lovable, sweet guy. He's got Tom Wamsgams is a conniver, right?
Luke Wilson's too busy with that the Western movie that he's doing with Kevin Costner.
He's in Horizon West.
Yeah. Oh,
Luke
yeah.
Wilson?
Luke is.
No, it's the other Wilson brother is, right?
Which Wilson?
Oh wait, did I say Luke or did I say Owen?
You said Luke.
You-
Oh, I meant to say Owen.
Oh.
Well, I'll get Luke Wilson in as Owen.
They're all
Barry
great.
in a
They're all
movie.
great.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I put a little thought behind it, and the baddie in the shadows is Eliath.
Oh, he is a shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, is
Yeah, he
baddie
is a shadow.
is the shadow.
Yeah.
He's in there somewhere, isn't he?
Or Ravonna controlling Eliath in the shadows.
Yeah, she's also quite the baddie. Next question, please.
Lisa Teniel, I don't think we'll see any cameos from The Gifted, but do you think we'll see Bishop?
He's my favorite X-Man
Yeah, could be
from
really
the
cool.
cartoons.
Yeah.
I always had a soft spot for Bishop.
Would be cool.
Like deep bench
Yeah.
mutants at this point that they haven't. Well, they did a. Didn't they have a bishop in There's a bishop in
Days of Future Past.
like,
Yeah.
kind
That's
of,
where it is. He's already
yeah.
been in the 97. Was he
Yep.
first
Right,
episode?
right.
First episode he
Yep,
was
prominently featured.
Yeah.
He's gone back in time to deliver baby Cable to whatever, but yeah.
I'm wondering like how many mutants they put in, right? Are they,
That's
Well,
why I
according to
think they're
Deadpool,
gonna.
You get 3, you get 2, you get 3. And then budget is max. Yeah.
Again, maybe they want to save that, right? This is not. Do you think this movie debuts the X-Men for the MCU?
no, I don't think they want to do that. I think that's a lot to do in one movie.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not the point of this movie. And they have no plans to make an X-Men movie for another couple of years. Like, there's nothing, as far as we
Or
know,
it's going to be the
for the next
best.
Avengers.
It's going to be the best post-credit scene we've ever seen.
Oh God.
That's they drop a couple casting announcements
Yeah.
in the post-credit scene.
It's just press releases. Is that even
Let
like
me
film?
let me have that.
I mean, I think if they're gonna do that, if they introduce any like these are gonna be some characters going forward, they would have to play a role in either like Avengers 4 or 5, right?
Yeah. That's
5 or
true.
6, whatever you consider.
Yeah, and it without giving them like their own movie, it would feel like maybe it'd be doing them a disservice.
Yeah.
Like prior to that coming out. Yeah.
Because it's like
tricky.
if you cast some people and you're like, oh look, this is your new Cyclops, you'll see him in 2028. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of that?
True,
Like,
true.
Yeah.
also, that takes that gives them 4 years to find out all the awful things this person has done.
Yeah,
And ruin
milkshake,
everything.
milkshake duck. Well, and like we're seeing with Fantastic Four, like we got those casting announcements recently. That movie's coming out next year,
Yeah.
hopefully, right?
Yeah,
Like,
Fantastic Four cameo in this. What do you think? Post credit scene, mid credit scene.
Yeah, it's Michael Chiklis.
The
in
newspapers
suit.
get ruffled, and Pedro Pascal's like, "Oh, that was weird," and it was just them like fighting in the lab. Or
I think the end of the movie will be it'll be the Fantastic Four cast from Fox, the original one, and it'll be them in a movie theater, be like, "Oh, movies are crap these days, don't you think, Reed?" And like Chris Evans is there, and he's like, "I'm on fire."
Johnny.
Jessica Alba's
Johnny
there.
Storm.
Chris Evans, Johnny Storm.
But they're
that's
just,
the cameo.
They were
right there.
watching.
I would love
Deadpool
to see
cameo.
that because that's
Yeah.
like it really does go into like the multiverse kind of thing.
And we
So
give
it's
him
like-
the
it's like,
haircut with the
"Aren't
little
you-"
sideburns. Ooh.
There's a
But
motorcycle
Deadpool
coming,
goes,
and they're like,
"You look
"Oh,
familiar, aren't you?" And he's like, "No, I'm not." You know.
bro."
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Johnny
the
Storm.
double whammy cameo of like just Chris Evans walks in. He's like, "Oh, I know you. Where's your shield? Shield, flame on, boom!" Like,
Or it is Captain America, and Deadpool lights him on fire. Like, "Oh, come on, do the thing!" And he's like, "Ah!"
my flash.
And because it's super soldier, he doesn't die, and he's like severely burned.
And looks like Deadpool.
You did this to me. I'll kill you, Reed.
I don't have a healing factor. I have to live like
And
this.
Peggy walks in the room, and she's like, "Oh God, I gotta go."
No, she's
And Peggy's
forgot.
like, "You said you were going to watch Clue.
Oh no.
That's not how it ended."
Damn it, Steve! I saw Clue. That's not the ending.
You think when Steve went back in time and got to live all of
There
the
we go.
20th century
There
with
we go.
Peggy, do
There
you
we
think
go.
he saw Clue in theaters?
And that's it.
He's like-
for us. That's it. Then that's
Peggy,
it for
Peggy,
us.
you're gonna love 1989. It's gonna blow your mind.
And that's it for us today. Make sure you subscribe to the Breakroom channel on YouTube. Give us a follow on Twitch where we do these
Yes.
videos live. You don't want to miss any of it at all.
Hey, if you're watching this right now, were there a series of jump cuts where people were cut off while they were speaking?
Did in some shots I had a pen, and some shots I didn't have a pen.
Did Zach make a comment that seemed intelligent that you were like, I bet he took that from somebody else?
You can follow me on Maude Garrett on all
Yes,
socials.
follow Maude on all socials so you know she's committing to being more regular
Yeah.
with her Twitch streams.
That's right, I said that.
You did make that commitment.
We're going to try to hold her accountable for that so that we can all enjoy more of her streams.
Yeah.
This is a rare YouTube stream we did today.
Woo!
But this level of chaos is normally just on Twitch, where we'd love to see you as well.
Right. And, stay tuned to New Rockstars this week. Eric Voss has his reaction to the Deadpool trailer out now.
No,
We'll
he's
have
not.
a-
Yeah, he did the reaction today.
Yeah,
And now
and tomorrow we'll have the breakdown out on the channel.
Sure will.
Or Tuesday, whenever you're watching this. Also, this week we'll still be covering Bad Batch, episode 14 of season 3. We'll have a breakdown of that this week.
Maybe some Fallout?
X-Men 97, episode 7. We're working on our full season breakdown of Fallout, one big vid. Hopefully we'll get that out this week. And we've been rewatching the Fantastic Four movies. Last week when we put out a breakdown of the first Fantastic Four that came out in 2004, And this week we're doing Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
And then after that, you're going to do the Josh
We
Trank.
will do the
Fan
Josh Trank.
Four Stick.
Fan Four Stick.
Michael B. Jordan and
What's
in gang.
Josh doing these days?
I don't know.
He made that Tom Hardy Al Capone movie a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
That was his big comeback. I don't know if he's done anything since.
Yeah, that's I think I looked it up. He's doing like one other thing, but yeah, that was his big kind
It
of
was released
comeback.
during pandemic. I remember it was like a big. I was doing a show where it was like just stream this week while you're in the pandemic, and I had to watch that movie. I did not like it.
Yeah, it was weird because at the end, like he like, kills all those dudes
Yeah.
in the
I'll
diner,
tell
and
you
then he's
guys.
like, "It might have happened like this, or maybe I did it like this."
Wacky music. Tim Curry came out. He's great. That was actually Clue poem.
Yeah, that joke didn't make sense. We had some great Clue content earlier in the show.
Shout out to
Must have been
Mrs.
good.
I get it now. I get it now.
Okay. We're
Bye,
gonna have 25
guys.
minutes of this, folks. Okay, great. Have a great
Can you
one.
name
Right,
all of
let's
them?
get us-
Can you name all of them? We had Miss Scarlet.
Miss
I did
Scarlet, Colonel Mustard,
Miss Peacock,
Professor Plum.
Professor Plum.
There's just Mr. Green,
Mr. Green.
Mrs. White,
Mrs. White.
and Miss Peacock, right?
That's everyone.
Scarlet.
Mrs. White was the maid, right? And then
Alive,
Mr.
still
Body is the dead body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, still live, still live.
And
Just-
then
Mr. Green.
it's revealed. Yeah.
We're figuring this out, Evan. They can wait.
I know. I just want you guys to know if it's alive on both because
I
I
feel
don't
like
think we
we've
can
got-
end.
They added someone too to the Clue game. There's a new character.
There's a new
Yeah,
character.
new
Shut
character.
up. What
What
color?
color?
do you use?
I don't know. I
Brown?
don't remember. I think it's
Yellow?
Charlotte Chartreuse or
No,
something.
that's
like
mustard.
that. I know. They did add like a newer character. I think they've added like a new game mechanic too, because it was a very simple.
Yeah.
kind of
Clue
rogue.
doesn't hold. Clue, like Monopoly, doesn't really hold up once you've played like Settlers of Catan or more
Yeah.
modern board games.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it doesn't really have the shine.
There's not really
anymore.
strategy to it. It's just kind of like if you get
Chef
lucky.
White.
Chef White. Interesting.
A lot of people on Twitch and YouTube today.
Neighboring.
Thanks for watching on both screens. If I didn't get to your question, I'm very sorry, but there were a lot of questions. Try to keep it all tuned. So if there's more questions or more things that come out this week, we might do another Deadpool Wolverine themed episode on Thursday. So stay tuned if that were to happen.
And then
Yeah.
what if they show the movie and then they play it backwards and call it Wolverine and Deadpool?
That's so brilliant.
That-
Did you
that's
just
a
think of that?
great idea.
That's amazing. It'd be kind of bad
gonna
though,
make-
like if you were in the cinema and it started at the end and you were hoping to see it for the first time and
When
then
I-
it'd be spoiled for you. That would
Yes.
not be great.
When I was
And John
young-
David Washington's there, and he's like, "Don't think about it, just feel it."
That's so funny.
Damn, dude, damn.
So funny.
When I was a young lad, my mother was dating someone, and he took me to the movies, and I wanted to see Mom and Dad Save the Universe, a really weird Jeffrey Jones movie. John Lovitz, I believe,
Yeah.
is like the
I've
villain in
never
that.
heard of it.
And as the screening is starting in this movie theater, like the title screen comes up, and it was Patriot Games. They're showing the wrong movie like
Yes.
in the theater, and my mom's boyfriend at the time was like, yes. Because he did not want to sit through Mom and Dad Save the Universe. And then they stopped it pretty quickly and they switched it over. And he was very disappointed. Mom and Dad Save the Universe? It's okay.
No, not good.
Let us know in the comments what time did you go to see something, whether it was a movie or if you rented like a VHS and a wrong tape was in it.
Oh, a wrong tape at the VHS. That was a classic.
I rented a video. I think it's supposed to be something like The Princess Bride. It's my favorite movie of all time. And then instead it was She-Ra.
That's not
the
too bad.
cartoon.
That's not too bad.
She-Ra. No,
I thought you were gonna get like a bad adult film mix up.
Yeah.
Like,
that would be so bad.
it was like The Princess Wide or something like that. You were like, oh no, this is not for kids.
Thanks for watching.
All right, cool. We'll wrap on that.
I'm
See
looking
ya.
for a six-fingered man.
Don't ruin it for me.
My name is Inigo Victoria.
No,
You bought my mother. Prepare to die.
That was still alive.
not my movie.
Inconceivable.
We'll see you later. Bye. If the audience only knew how many jelly beans ended up underneath the table. Ugh. One for the trash. One for me. One for the trash. One for me. One for the trash. What's this? Breakroom merch launch 1997. God, how am I gonna watch this? It's so old.
Hey, Zach Huddleston Sr. here, and I'm thrilled to be a part of the Breakroom, Ottawa's #1 afternoon public access show. And that's all because of you. As a special treat for you, we're releasing a brand new line of Breakroom merch. Yeah, we got stuff like graphic tees, baseball caps, bucket hats, and even warm, cozy hoodies for the trash bags out there. You don't need to hear that from me. Why don't we ask Trashy the Trash Bag, the Breakroom mascot, what he thinks of the merch?
Hey kids, it's me, Trashy the Trash Bag, and I'm here to tell you that I love this merch so much, I want to murder the box it's currently in so the merch can be in me instead.
Well, Trashy, we're actually gonna hide this box somewhere in the studio, and the fans at home can guess where it is to win the entire box.
Trashy say what?
That's right. If you call the 1-800 number that's on the screen right now, 1-800 Trash Bags for Life and ever, or log on to our GeoCities portal, you can enter with your guess of where we've hidden this in the studio.
I tell you, what a lucky box that is to have such soft tees inside of it. I would love to be inserted full to the brim with merch, overflowing. Right now, most of my trash is jagged edges from cans that people do not want to recycle. And if I could have a garment-dyed tee inside of me instead, I could dye a happy bag.
Again, this offer is only good to the end of August 1997. If you get in, you'll get everything in this box. And again, thank you so much for making the show such a success this year. We plan on keeping on trucking all the way through 1998, 1999, and then stopping January 1st, 2000, because the world will be over. Thank you so much for watching the show and for playing along. Later, skaters.
And cut. Great job, guys. I think we got it.
Great, great, nice. Trashy, what are you getting into there?
A friend of mine's older brother told me that if you eat Coke and Pop Rocks at the same time, it makes you strong.
No, that's not what Coke and Pop Rocks do. Oh my God! Trashy, what's happening, Trashy?
Everybody get out of the studio! Something's happening to my body!
Evan, cover the monitors!
Zach Sr. looks a lot like Zach. I wonder where that merch ended up, though. We have merch. We have merch. We have merch!
What? 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 Trashy say what?